There's certain moments that occur in music that you can't really find anywhere else in life, and I've never really enjoyed anything but music.
To me, music is everything. Music is life. It's what I think about when I wake up and when I think about when I go to sleep every night.
Really loving something is probably kind of rare, and I do love music.
I can't imagine my life without music and without the opportunity to create my own art form.
There's nothing that can't be communicated or resolved, I think, to me, through music.
But music is so much more than that, you know. You get up on stage and there are people that came to see you play.
We have this sort of momentary bond with the people that we're playing for, that it makes a live show more than just a concert, and it makes it an actual experience.
You know, how good does it feel when you hit the chorus and you make that, chord change that you're so in love with, the vocalist hits the note perfect, you nail it right with your drummer, and just...
Until you throw yourself into it head over heels, I don't think you can ever get a fair shake of, can I do this, or should I be doing this?
I mean, it's hard to describe. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But I think most people understand what it's like to have music move you.
It's such an experience that, I think that's what really keeps me playing.
It's very spiritual. It takes you completely away from everything in the boring real world.
When I try to describe the band to people, I say, yeah, it's rock and roll, but there's more to it than that.
It's not just surface music. It may be rock and roll, and it may have great rhythms and great sound, but beyond that, we try in everything we do, like in every drum fill and every guitar lead line and every lyric and every vocal harmony, we try to evoke more.
Molly got married in the lavender dress she'd stole.
I think to some extent you carry influences and experience with you everywhere you go.
When I really made a leap, instead of just being a kid with a guitar to actually being a guitarist, is when I sat down and I learned how to play every Smashing Pumpkins song.
Chris takes so much influence from Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys and puts that into his interpretation of the song.
Stuff that Brian had his stamp on has always walked that line for me between just exuberant happiness and terrible sadness. I never think of my songs as having one basic melody. I always think of parts in 2, 3, 4 parts. And Vern and I used to practice. We get together in the morning and just sing Everly Brothers songs a cappella, sing Kathy's Clown.
Here he comes, that's Kathy's Clown.
You listen to those two guys and I don't think there's ever been two people that blended so well. For once, I feel I'm in a band where everyone's ideas are great and are helpful and are based on some musical notion rather than, whatever arbitrary things they were in the past.
There aren't many times in life when you'll see a live band when your eyes are on the bassist the entire time.
I remember watching him in his old band just thinking, man, now that guy can play.
He was just really magnetic and he looked like he was having such a good time.
That guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's not trying to be Wes Claypool or Cliff Burton or something ridiculous on the bass.
Most people seem so bored on stage, but Steve was always smiling and loving the music.
Then, Anna, my friend.
There's nobody in the world that I would rather have drumming behind me than Brad.
As great of a marriage of left brain and right brain as Brad is, he brings that element of musicality to the band, tempo, timing. And he is so teacherly about it, and he's the ultimate music student.
I can't imagine someone being able to play rock and roll drums better than that. The band started with just Chris and I. We'd go on stage, just the two of us, and you know, he could wow people and he could just blow people away with his vocals. And I was just kind of the guy standing next to him.
I remember for a month or two there, he just locked himself in his room 6-7 hours a day just doing guitar drills.
If I was going to be on a stage with somebody this talented and I was going to say that I'm worthy of being up here, you have to make yourself indispensable.
And one day, like he came back from a Crossroads meeting with the devil, you know, he had this ability and could play like I'd never heard. Like I didn't think in my wildest dreams he could ever play, or anybody could play.
Between their songwriting skills and their own personal abilities and their personalities, you know, that was just the trifecta right there.
We all get along so well. It's nice because sometimes you could be in bands and just not even like the other people you're with.
Under the spell, faces come and they go where nobody knows. Slumber away, beautiful
Our band to me is a very spiritual vibe. You know, I think my songs come from a spiritual place.
The songwriting's very solitary in a way. Chris kind of digs deep on his own and comes in with a rough sound of what the song's supposed to be and a rough idea.
I actually like to write on the piano, which is an instrument that I'm not very good at by any stretch of the imagination, but it helps me think different. You know, helps me think differently about where to start because I place my hands on the piano and I'm not familiar.
right home in December. My boy, born of
When I write something on the piano or the guitar or anything, even if there's no words, it's coming from this really meaningful spot to me. And maybe if I'm going through something and, you know, that translates to a melody on the piano. And I try to communicate that with the band, like when I bring a song. All these guys are so talented and have such great ideas. I think that shows through, and I think that's what sets us apart in a lot of respects, is that we do spend so much time on the song and we realize how important the songs are to a band.
There's songs that deserve to be heard, and to me that's pretty much everything. On top of that, I think we can perform them and record them very well.
You know, you get a guitar riff and you think, all right, I could play just a straight doof-cha, and just make it completely boring. Or you could actually add a couple beats here or drop a couple beats there, play some syncopated patterns here, and actually make it artful and kind of tasty.
I want people to feel the power of music, physical, emotional, all of it. I want people to really just understand that music's so much more.
And I think that the songs that truly resonate and truly become timeless and last are songs that came from somewhere deeply personal and that truthfully resonated with somebody or with an audience, that it really meant, it really connected with an emotion. I think that art is timeless. You know?
Man, it runs deep. Yeah, we come here for the ride.